This video is going to be about all the supplies you will need if you want to get into stamping nail art. So we're going to start with the most important thing, which are the stamping polishes. These polishes dry by air. These are just like kind of normal polishes, but with a different formula. These will dry by air, but there are also different polishes. This one, for example, is a foil polish. This will dry under the UV light, and you can use this to put some foil in there. And there is a regular stamping gel polish. This won't dry by air. This will only dry when you put it in the UV light. It can be nice if you can't get the hang of how fast you need to work, but for me personally, I prefer the regular polishes so much more. So just look for stamping polish, and then you will find a lot of different colors and a lot of different types. Then you will obviously need stamping plates. And I have a lot of them, way too much almost, but they will look like this. They come in a cover sometimes, and then this is your plate. It is engraved, as you can see, and little engraving parts is where you put on your polish, scrape it off, and use your stamper. There are a lot of different designs, for example, jungle, unicorns, fall, geometric flower designs, spice. There is winter, sea, gardening, the flower one. Flower is the most popular. Spring. This is more of the occasional thing, like congrats, getting married, graduation. You have this one, which is with these types of shapes, space, well, texture, and mandala kind of things. So these are my big plates. I prefer those the most, but there also are smaller plates, like these, for example. And then there also are these little round ones. But personally, I don't like working with these. So if you still have to get some plates, go with at least this size or get the big one. Then I recommend getting one of these or a kitchen towel, but this one is with a fluid-proof back. So if you are stamping and scraping, it won't go through on your table. Then we need stampers. This one's from Bon Pretty. It's pretty used, but it's still good. This is the bigger one, and I recommend you getting one with a clear back. I will show you later why. And there also is a smaller one, which is half the size. This works fine as well, but I prefer the bigger one. Keep an eye on the fact that stamper heads are quite sensitive to tears, so be a bit careful with them. Don't store them away loose. As you can see here, this one is a bit torn on the top. It doesn't really matter, but when your design comes over this, it can distort it a little bit. Then you will need a scraper, and my scrapers are really in a rough shape, but they work fine. These are 3 types of scrapers. This one is just a small, sturdy one. This is quite nice to work with. This one is a lot thinner, but it's also one of my favorites. Then there also is this one, which is a combination of the thin one and the thicker one. But this one is not my favorite. It is sturdy, but it is too big to really scrape nicely with. So try to look for a small, thicker one or a thin, bigger one. Then you need some plate cleaner. You can, of course, remove your polish from the plate with acetone-free nail cleaner, but I don't really recommend that since it can eventually dull the plate a bit. It can leave scratches and your stamping won't go as well. It won't happen after like the first time, so don't worry about that. But I do recommend getting a plate cleaner that's meant to clean the plates. Then there also is a stamper head cleaner, which is not really necessary, I must say. If your stamping head is not, as you can see, it's sticking. If it's not sticking, since you've touched it with bare skin too many times, for example, you can wash this with a little bit of dish soap and water. Make sure to dry it well and then it will stick again. Also, for the next recommendation is a roller like this. You don't need the holder. I just have the holder. It's convenient, but you don't really need it. So just this thing is fine. This is the roller that you can use to take hairs off clothes and furniture. This one is just sticky and you can peel off the layer when it's done. I think almost everyone knows this, so just get one of these. This is used that if your head is dirty with some stamping left, you can just go on there and it will stick. Which is why you can see a lot of half the signs, a lot of little particles. So this is really necessary, otherwise you will have to clean your plate every time. For the skin area, you can use something like liquid latex, but I don't recommend it. There are some people that are allergic to latex, so it can be tricky to use this. But also the smell is horrible and you have to wait for this to completely dry, otherwise it will stick to your stamper head. So don't bother with this. If you really want to try it, go ahead, of course. But for me personally, I would say don't bother with this. You can clean the skin up easily if you use a UV top coat. Afterwards, you can just go in with some cleanser and it will take off the extra polish on the skin. If you work with regular polish, just go with like a cotton bud or something and take it away. So these are all the items I recommend for you if you want to start stamping. There's so many fun colors, bright colors, pastel colors, everything is around. For the first thing, if you just want to get like 2 colors or 3, go with white and black. They are quite basic. You can use these for so many designs. So if you are in doubt if stamping is something for you, just buy a black and a white. And then that way you can create a lot of designs. If you want to go in colors, just buy the colors that you really like. You don't have to buy a lot immediately. If you have black, white and a few color polishes, then it will be fine. This was the first video on stamping. There's a lot more to come. I'm gonna do a few videos with basic techniques, advanced techniques, different designs, styles, whatever. So stay tuned for that and thank you for watching.